Well, folks,
Prost.
just so you know, we will be... Ray's got his... Is that Augustiner?
Keller.
Okay. You got that in München?
Yeah, I got it in Munich.
Ray's drinking out of that beer because in about... not this weekend. No, this weekend events do kick off, but a week from this weekend, we will be going to Oktoberfest.
Right.
I had to talk to my wife about the details of this, but we will be going. We will be drinking a beer.
Ein
Bier. Not more than ein Bier.
I will
Zwei Bier. Dry beer.
Dry beer.
Veer is 4.
Fünf is I know.
5.
I skipped ahead because I'm like, fünf is the total.
We have 5 pours.
You will have
a
fünf,
beer.
ein Liter a beer.
That's right. So we're gonna be riding high, feeling good.
I will say, contained in this liter stein is Fathead's Fest beer. Now, if you don't know the difference, I feel like
This is an IPA.
it's an IPA.
This glass is also from a brewer in London that I got.
Nice.
I got when I was overseas. Boom.
Yeah, I guess both of these glasses came overseas then.
There you go. These are 2 glasses that are from the UK/Europe.
Yes. Well, UK versus Germany, World War II, UK World War II champs.
There you
the
go.
US. But contained in this is Fathead's Fest beer. Now, like a lot of, I've noticed in the last couple of years, a lot of American breweries have been brewing actual like Fest beer. Like, so if you've never been to like Oktoberfest,
Right.
the Oktoberfest beer that we most associate with here in the States is that kind of brownish ale, the Marzen as they call it.
You know more about this than I do.
What's actually served at Oktoberfest in Germany is a golden ale, which I think became famous in, I'm not 100% sure, I want to say like the 90s.
So then you're telling me that Fatheads is more traditional in that they're serving a golden
Well, they
beer.
also serve a Gesuffe, which is their Marzen. So here's the deal with Marzen, the amber ale. It is what used to be served at Oktoberfest. And then I want to say in 1950s, 1960s, I'm 100% sure, Pauliner was
Right.
like, let's serve our Helles, but instead of being at
This is Helles good.
it's hella good.
That's what they would say.
Instead of serving our traditional Helles,
Gut, though. They'd say Helles gut.
Gut. Das ist gut. Instead of serving it at 5%, we're going to knock it up a bit at 6%. So,
Oh, shit.
Fest beers are known to be like 6% beers, like around that. They're essentially just like Helles lagers, just like a little more like alcohol. But it was so popular that this is what eventually all the other breweries adopted. And now this is what you'll find at Oktoberfest. You can still get Marzens, but you have to specifically ask for it. If you just order ein Bier, this is what you're going to get at Oktoberfest. So anyways,
That's one big ein Bier
ein Bier
right there.
Yeah, a golden
Gross, as they would say.
golden, not brown.
Well, there you go. He didn't even
Gesuffe.
He didn't even cheers me before he drank that.
1, 2, 3, Gesuffe.
Okay.
Yeah.
something
I'm
that
really
happens.
very interested to see like at the Cleveland.
We are going to
Oktoberfest,
Cleveland Oktoberfest.
if they sing some of the songs they sing at the actual Oktoberfest.
What are some
There's
of the
a
songs
song
they
that goes like 1, 2, 3, Gesuffe. Ein Flieger, which was a children's song that was so popular. It's about like an airplane or something. Ein Flieger, I think, is an airplane.
Children
I don't know.
children are notorious for loving
It's
beer.
obviously in German, but it goes like Spring, Spring, Spring eine Tiger, which is tiger. Somehow they work in giraffe in there. I don't know. I'd have to it's all in German, so I don't know the
It's
words,
all
but
German to me.
But it was originally a children's song called Ein Flieger, and it's now like a popular song at Oktoberfest. But they play a lot of American songs there too. Like they play Country
in
Roads. Yeah, Country Roads.
Country Roads is played everywhere. We were in Dublin. They were playing Country Roads.
I feel like there are a couple others they play, like classics. Anyways, whatever. Off topic. I'm just gonna be interested to see what kind of like German Oktoberfesty songs that actually might make its way to the Cleveland Oktoberfest.
Well, we will be at Oktoberfest, Cleveland Oktoberfest. I have also let Ray know tonight that I think that we're going to do. We were already planning on Ray and I, as you might see from my attire here.
Nice.
Notre Dame, Guinness,
Go Irish,
Guinness, Notre Dame. I don't think Go Irish is on here, but we're big Notre Dame fans.
Huge. I'm come from a big Irish family.
Yeah,
that's literally our only tie to Notre Dame is being Irish.
Right, and
none of our family members ever graduated there. We have a grandfather who has a bench dedicated on campus.
I mean, like my inherited family went there. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law both went there.
But none of the U-Trips are Delaney's.
No. Right. Anyway, we didn't have the money. Even if we'd gotten in there, we didn't have the money to go there.
We're, well, at least, I like to say Case Western's the poor man's, like, Harvard or
it's like the step below.
A regional.
It's like a step below Ivy League.
Yeah, like we're in Cleveland, Ohio. Like anyone in Cleveland knows, is probably familiar with Case Western. My brother works there. I used to work there. I've been graduate of the school for one of their master's programs. But like here, like you throw around the name Case Western, it's like you're throwing in the name Harvard around. But it's not nationally.
It's a great research.
It's not nationally recognized like that, other than in research, which is now being defunded.
Right. Well, we
got really off topic there, but
yes, we've really introduced this episode well. So we are doing. This is a first, to be honest, for us. This episode, we are going to continue on a topic. It's a carryover. We're going to continue on a topic we started last episode, which is to keep covering the series Alien Earth. So far, when it aired, episodes 1 and 2 came out jointly. So it's made sense to talk about those two together. And to keep that going, we're going to talk about the last two episodes together as well, which were 3 and 4.
I think it makes sense to talk about them in pairs.
Metamorphosis and Observation were the names of the episodes. I mean, this is also like a theme through the last 3 episodes, because the episode before our last episode was to talk about the Alien franchise in general. And so we are kind of keeping... This is probably the longest time we've stayed on the topic for a while. So, like, we are going to stick with episodes 3 and 4, and we're going to just examine, our takeaways. We're not going to deep dive into these because, to be honest, there's so much that happens, and I feel like we don't remember a lot that happened in these episodes.
I do like the themes of it. It's very, like, philosophical, feels very, like, Blade Runner-y.
Yes.
Like,
Kirsch being a character, and the blonde hair with Kirsch, she just feels like... It feels like they are like making a nod to that.
Feels very Prometheus / I guess Covenant kind of throws in. Prometheus is a little more philosophical than Covenant, I think, but I feel like it follows a very philosophical theme, like Prometheus and kind of some of the Blade Runner movies. But anyways, I mean, Andrew's a heavy feature in this too, so. I think there's a heavy exploration of androids in those movies.
The stars of this series so far have been the androids.
Yeah,
they are absolutely the focus of this. And in the last 2 episodes, it's really been a test of their allegiance. I think, is his name Caviar? Boy something.
Boy Cavalier.
Cavalier. Okay, I don't know. Caviar makes him sound more of a douchebag. So
it makes him sound super rich, which he is.
He's
but he is very like his disposition is very cavalier.
It does seem like he is playing a lot of games. Like so, there are multiple games he's playing. Right? There's one of the synthetics. I'm forgetting her name right now. who's like trying to butter up to him. Like she learned French.
The one who learned French. I don't know what her name is.
I can't think of her name. They all have stupid Peter Pan names.
Yeah.
And they were mad about that. Like they start rebelling against that. But he's playing a lot of games. Like so he's encouraging the one that's like trying to be a teacher's pet with him. Mm-hmm. And then he's also like, playing these mind games with Wendy and her brother Hermit.
Okay.
And so, does she call him Joe? What's his actual name?
I don't know. Actually, it's a good question. I have no idea what is his
Hermit. Name? I think is his call name, but it's not his.
Mr. No Lungs.
Doesn't she keep saying Joe? Oh my God, what is his name? Mr. Missing a Lung.
He's a G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
the medic.
That can't be his name. Anyways, he's playing a game, but he's pitting the two of them to get against each other because, Wendy is his property as he sees it. Right, he keeps referring to people as his property, or it's my world. They live in it. He's very much the like sycophant CEO. Like the he thinks himself a god, basically.
Right.
And I mean, the other interesting thing that I've never really thought about with this series is the dynamic of the Earth as we know it now being ruled by corporations. That becomes more prominent in the more recent episodes.
Yeah, they didn't do like a full like background on that, but like they kind of just say Hermit
basically says democracy failed.
And these companies took over.
Yeah. And that they made things, but he also frames it as they made things better. So like, he's almost like, I don't know if he's just feeding them bullshit.
I mean, it's probably like the victors are the ones who write the history books, right? So
right. But that makes more sense to me. I think
companies are probably why democracy failed. Am I right? Feels very relevant. Yeah. It's so funny.
It's an Elon thing.
I find it so. I feel like I've mentioned this before, but I find it so hilarious that companies like Disney owns Hulu, right? Disney is basically talking about themselves. Like they are Weyland-Yutani.
Well, it's basically like letting South Park like shit all over everything that's going on right now, and Paramount being the company. Like they basically shitting all over their parent company.
Yeah.
And like Alien Earth is continuing the theme that started with the original movie in 1979 about humans are expendable, corporations are in charge.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Like crew expendable. That's been the theme of this franchise from the very get-go. And Alien Earth has made that more prominent. I would say the two things so far of all the episodes that have been more pronounced are, and themes that carry over between the different movies and material from the franchise are AI is a problem, and corporations, like capitalism unchecked is an issue. And unchecked, unfettered capitalism is a problem.
Right.
So
only in this show, not in the real world.
Oh, totally. If you're a capitalist and you have money to offload,
yes,
we will take that money. We will let you be a sponsor of the show. We're looking for sponsors. We're particularly looking for sponsors that make beer. Because we drink a lot of beer. Masthead got back to me again tonight. From if you watch previous episodes, that they fell in love with us.
Yep. Their staff disagrees with us on the Resident Evil take.
Their staff really likes Resident Evil 4, which we do not like.
No.
So that's.
What were they again, Bob?
What's that?
What were Resident Evil 4 fans?
Oh, I said famously in episode 2 that trash people play Resident Evil 4.
So I think Bob,
so basically, I indirectly said that the people that work there at the brewery are trash people. That might hurt our relationship with them.
Yeah, trash people who make fantastic beer.
They are not trash people in the field of making beer.
They turn that trash into gold, liquid gold.
Yes, some people's trash is treasure.
Liquid treasure.
Liquid treasure
in the belly.
In fact, this is what Masthead. Hello, I am drinking a Lean West right now out of this glass. We love your West Coast IPAs.
And Fatheads, I mean, I guess this is technically your first shout out, but this is actually a really good fest beer.
Every brewery I've reached out to in the Cleveland area has shouted out Fatheads.
They are okay. Like
Headhunter specifically. Everybody loves Headhunter.
It won like not too long ago. Won like a world beer, like IPA contest or something like that. I mean, just like it, you can't go wrong with Fathead's Headhunter. It's like if you don't know what to order at the bar and they have that on tap, that's an easy go-to.
If you're in the Cleveland area, you like IPAs, you like West Coast IPAs, and you see a Fathead's tap, and you ask the bartender, what is that? And they say, oh, that's their flagship IPA. That's Headhunter. You get it. Just get it. Just get it. You get it. But if you see the Masthead flagship IPA, you get that over.
Yeah, I will say
over everything.
Fatheads needs to open a brew pub in Cleveland.
Well, their current one's open in North Olmsted.
Well, yeah, but like they need to open one in like downtown Cleveland. That's what I'm saying. They need a location in Cleveland. Like I don't want to drive out to North Olmsted to get a Fathead.
See, that's kind of close to us. So
it is?
Yeah, it's not far.
Oh, mm-hmm.
That's pretty west side.
How far away is it?
15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Like 10, 15 minutes.
So I think they should have like a downtown Cleveland location.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's word for thought for Fatheads. We love you, Fatheads. You want to sponsor us? That's great. Sponsor us. Masthead, we already know you fell in love with us. We've already been in love with you. Let's turn this love into what love flourishes into, which is a partnership.
A monetary partnership.
A monetary partnership of love.
Yes.
So Matt said, we're waiting for your people to reach out to our people, which is, we don't have people. It's just us.
There's just two of us.
But
we're very local in that way, much like you.
You know, if you can't give us money, then just give us free beer. We'd love that. We'll just keep shouting you out.
Or just keep shouting us out. Like and subscribe.
So, okay, returning to Alien Earth. Now that we've solicited
episode 3. Where did we start out in episode 3?
Well, so episode 3 begins with she has basically Hermit was taken by the alien. So Wendy goes off to find the alien. Kirsch and the other synthetics stay behind to study the site, the crash site, but also more specifically the alien.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that. Two of them are left with the eggs. She leaves the two of them with the eggs to go find her brother.
Yes.
And then the rest of the one android plus the rest of the children who are synthetics are in the lab with the other creatures.
Right. And one of them's escaped, which was like the eyeball creature, was inside of a cat. That was like a pet on the ship.
It's a very interesting creature. They really outside of the xenomorph, of course. They focused on probably that one.
That's one of the coolest enemies I think I've seen so far in the series. Is this? There's a name for it. I'm blanking on it. I'm just calling it Eye Creature. Mm-hmm. It looks like an eyeball, and then it literally will attack its host and implant itself in the eyeball of the host, and then control its body basically.
Right.
Now something happens. One of the AI nibs gets attacked by this eye creature, and it doesn't implant in her, but that does trigger something with her. Like she is not the same after that, and I don't understand. I don't completely understand what happened there.
Is it a fear that they could still die? Maybe I don't know.
Something happens with her because she goes AWOL in the next episode.
She just has like a psychological break. She literally touches her eye.
Yes, she touches the mirror in front of her, and then she touches her eyeball. And somebody theorized that she's starting to realize to the degree that Prodigy is monitoring them, because the mirror in her room. I don't know if it's revealed, but somebody said through the shots in the scene where she touches that, you can tell it's a two-way mirror. So she realizes that they're being monitored, and then that's why after touching the mirror, she touches her eyeball, because she's like, my eyeballs are cameras too. They're monitoring everything I see. Mm-hmm. So that's also why the episode 4 is called Observation, because they are being observed.
Okay. Yeah.
like Big Brother style kind of thing.
Big Brother.
We're going to be in the next season of Big Brother also. Just so you know. So she has some sort of breakdown after that attack because she starts, and I don't know. Part of my question and why I'm thinking about this is, does the creature have the capacity to tap into people's memories? Like, did the creature somehow like
a psychological link?
Right. Like, did the creature somehow in
mental link, I guess is what I'm trying to say,
spark something in her where she's now thinking about some memory gets generated in her about her transition from a human being, a child, to her synthetic self that upsets her. She has this vivid memory of her as a child on the table about to transition to a synthetic, and it really upsets her. Right. I don't know that she had remembered that before.
I don't know that there's any reason or any like tip of the cap that this creature has that ability. At least they've not shown that.
Right.
I think I feel like someone might have mentioned this, but like I think it is really just a feeling of maybe you're not like as like like death is still around the corner, maybe kind of thing. Like they were, the kids were all dying, weren't they? Like each of them had some sort
it's
of
also like
affliction where
it's
they were
an interesting thought because they're also children, and so like children don't have a real conception of death, and so that in a human's life, right, the realization that people die, or that I might die, or that somebody I love dies, is a huge event in one's life,
right? And
so maybe because she has a child's mind, and it's her first experience with, like literally, they've never left Neverland before this.
Yeah.
So it's her first experience of danger too. Like something is trying to kill me.
Right. It's actually very interesting that the creature went after her. Like, I'm wondering, like, if it did get the eye, would it be able to take over her body? Like, I mean,
they do have a human mind, though it's all synthetic parts.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the other interesting thing that you bring up, because
the aliens, like the xenomorphs, won't go after synthetics.
Well, yeah, and neither will the other creatures, like that big plant that plant that looks like a fly eater.
Yeah.
What's that name of the plant that eats bugs?
I know, someone mentioned it.
A Venus fly trap.
Yeah, essentially it's kind of.
It kind of looks like a giant Venus fly trap. Like that plant was curious about the synthetic and kind of was testing him, but because he was a synthetic and not a biological creature, it ignored him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the same thing with the xenomorph.
But this eye creature is the only one that was willing to.
The eye creature was the only one that was willing to go after the synthetic. So does it not know that they're synthetic? Does it not care?
Doesn't it care? Can it still feel like it can take over the whatever mind
Could it still take over the host?
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting thing about that. Like that one. I feel like the other creatures are going to be examined as the season goes along, but like that one creature so far has been the most interesting because we're familiar with the xenomorph.
Yeah.
But we have no idea about this new creature and the dynamic it's going to play. Eventually, everything's going to fucking go to shit. Mm-hmm. Like eventually, all of these creatures are going to breach containment.
Right.
It's a matter of time. So that's the other thing. Like these last two episodes have been, I don't want to say boring. They haven't been boring, but they're like the calm before the storm. You know that something's going to happen. Something is going to happen where these things are going to break containment, and all fucking hell's going to break loose.
Right.
The other dynamic that's interesting that gets revealed in these last two episodes is there's a tension that seems to exist between Kirsch, the elderly synthetic, and Boy.
I heard someone theorized this, and I have no idea, if there's any reason to believe this, but like that Boy Cavalier had created Kirsch to look like his father.
Yeah, I did hear that.
And that maybe that's why he has so much disdain for him. You can kind of feel like Boy Cavalier, in a way, like talks down to Kirsch. In a way, there's like a battle of the minds there. Like one of the smartest humans on planet Earth, if not the smartest human, is always constantly testing his synthetic counterpoints.
Right.
He says this. He said multiple times. Like one of the reasons, his main goals for creating synthetics is to have like an interesting conversation with someone that he thinks is like his intellectual equal.
He finds all humans boring, and he seems to think there is no human that has the capacity to go toe to toe with him in a he's a debate bro. So anyways, I don't know what was it? Oh, so Kirsch and Boy, what the fuck is his name? Boy what?
Cavalier.
I
had no idea why this is a YouTube video I watched.
I did hear that.
I don't know why they speculated that. It's an interesting theory, but I'm like, I don't know that there's any evidence.
Somebody theorized it was his father.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Kirsch was
Which is why
the memory of his father.
Feels like Boy Cavalier has so much disdain for him specifically.
Right. I think the most interesting thing, other than the other AI dynamics, is Kirsch in this series. Why is he working for this guy? Like, I want to know more about the background.
Like he's starting to plot.
He does
things.
not like it. Like he does not like this guy.
There's a lot of like him just staring at him like with long drawn out pauses.
It seems like he is plotting his death, demise.
Demise, yeah.
It seems like Kirsch at some point, because this point was brought up with Slightly, where Kirsch asks Slightly this in episode 4, I think. He asks almost the same question that Morrow asked, which was, what would you do if someone was hurting another?
Yeah.
Like, would you step in, basically? And Slightly's answer was, I would defend my friends. And a YouTuber who was reviewing the episode was basically like, Kirsch seemed a little bit this seemed like a test for Slightly. Kirsch seemed a little disappointed in the answer. I think Kirsch is starting to test the bounds of like, can I get these other AIs on board with me against Boy Cavalier?
Well, in a weird way, like I might be totally wrong about this, but like I get the sense that he has like a fondness for like all of the human synthetics. He's almost kind of like looking out for them, not directly. He's not like directly. I don't know what to say. Not directly like intervening on their behalf, but like you can just see like the long pauses. Like anytime like Boy Cavalier has an issue with one of the kids, or sometimes like it seems like he really enjoys the now Isaac Newton.
Well, the kid who renames himself Isaac.
Yeah, almost like a little pride in Kirsch there with Isaac.
Well, the fact that he makes the decision for himself.
Yeah, so I think
Kirsch seems to be encouraging the AIs to act out not. I don't want to say out of order, but like to begin to express independence.
Right. Which is interesting because Kirsch, like, I think, is a true synthetic. Whereas
he also seems to be like. He seems to be an older synthetic in the sense that like he predates this childhood stuff.
Right.
Why does he work? Why is he working for Prodigy? I don't understand that entirely. He seems very combative with the owner of the company, Boy. I don't know. Every time I say that name, it feels weird. He's very combative with the owner, and the owner is very combative with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an odd relationship, and I wonder more and more as the series goes along, like why how did Kirsch end up working for this person? I'm assuming maybe it's a synthetic he created, one of his first synthetics. He's obviously there to be a mentor to the younger ones, but he's not. It's clear he's combative with the CEO, and the CEO does not like competition. So, like, why is this dynamic allowed? why is Boy keeping him around? And why is he working for Boy?
I don't know. You get the sense as we go along more and more they both like just don't to the core don't like each other. But
he seems to have all.
I think the more interesting dynamic is like the fact that he is 100% synthetic, but like it seems that he has this sort of fondness for the human children who have now become synthetics, you know, because they're not true synthetics. They still have human minds, but
yes,
are now adapted into synthetics. It's weird dynamic because even though they have human minds, they can now like upload information like synthetics, you know?
Yes, right.
Which is eyes that kind of like alludes to.
I feel like they're always uploading things because their eyes are basically cameras. Like, I feel like they're always
dynamic.
Uploading.
I wonder if like is it Kirsch? What's his name? Kirsch.
Kirsch is the one that is the blonde haired leader of all of them.
Part of me wonders if Kirsch like truly believes that they really are the future, like a perfect amalgamation of human and synthetic.
His image also again recalls Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like the notorious thing about the replicants in Blade Runner is that they do see themselves as superior to humans.
Yeah, well, or it's true. I mean,
they're combative with humanity.
Well, the reason they had a 4-year lifespan is because they, towards the end of their lives, were developing emotions.
That's the other interesting thing about him is if he is a replicant, does he have a expiration date? Because he looks like a replicant.
Here's the thing: people have theorized this before because Ridley Scott created both the Alien and Blade Runner franchises. Is that they like actually exist in the same universe? There's no reason exactly to 100% believe that, just because like the androids in Blade Runner seem to operate differently than the ones in Alien,
right?
And they're totally two different corporations that control the world in these different franchises.
This corporation has not even been referenced.
I mean, Tyrell is the one who kind of like owns everything in the Blade Runner universe, whereas it's Weyland-Yutani in the Alien universe.
The other interesting thing from episode 3 is, Morrow implants a whatever it is. He implants something into
like sticker thing
into slightly
embeds it into the skin,
right? That he can now talk to his brain into his brain basically too.
Here's what I find interesting about that is that he, if you think about how rapidly technology advances, he's like 65 years old.
Somebody theorized that like the reason that he plugs into his head, like, because I guess Kirsch plugs in at that same episode, but it's in his arm and it seems more like modern.
But if you think about like the technology he uses to like now spy on them, it's like, how could you ever trust that? Because it's like so old, right?
Right.
It's like, how's that still work? How's no one like figured this out? Right? Like if someone was using dial-up still, like.
Oh, you're saying the thing he implanted. Like how has that technology
still relevant?
How is it counteractive not been built in 65 years?
Yeah.
That's a good point. I feel like with any show you could find the flaws.
Just like suspend reality. I mean, understand like it's a interesting dynamic that is now formed, especially in episode 4.
I feel like it could be explained to some degree of like these tech companies are not sharing their technology with each other. Like nobody in Weyland in the other companies, nobody else knows that Prodigy has figured out an AI with human consciousness.
Yeah.
So like maybe Weyland-Yutani had this technology about implantation of a communication device that nobody was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. I mean, 65 years is a long time.
I know it's sci-fi. Like you just kind of suspend reality at some points.
Yeah. Anyways,
suspend belief.
One of the interesting things about that scene where he first talks to Slightly is that he's on a computer and he's like on a web browser and he's going through news stories, and there's some news stories that pop up that give us a little bit more context about this world. One was that Boy Cavalier potentially killed his parents in a car crash. There was a car crash that happens when he's young. He's like 15 years old, and it was one of the headlines. And I don't know that he killed. Like, somebody theorized, it does not say in the news headline that he killed anyone, but like it cuts off, right? You would have to click on the link to see the full story. So like there are a bunch of headlines that are cut off at some point, and there's another headline that reads that his work on AI is inspired by a tragedy that he lost, and then it like cuts off, like you don't know who he lost. But his work in AI and this new development in AI where we have human consciousness uploaded to a synthetic was inspired by a personal loss of his. And then there's also a story about a car crash. The other story was a news story that some of the YouTubers pointed out in screenshotting the scene and looking at the headlines, was the development of the companies who own the planet. So it went from being 3 companies, Yutani, I don't remember.
That went to being from 4 to 5.
No, yes, it went from 3 to 4 to 5.
Oh, all while they were asleep?
Yes. So then, well, because they had mentioned the passengers of the Maginot had mentioned 4, so they must have been aware of 4. Basically,
Boy Cavalier was the 5th that came on the scene.
But Yutani was the one holdout from the vote. There was a vote that happened to bring Prodigy into this like capitalistic conglomerate. Like, there are 4 companies who own the planet. Prodigy was the 5th who was brought into this group. Originally it was 3. Then it became 4. Then it became now with Progeny. It's Progeny. Progeny. What's the name of it? Prodigy. Now with Prodigy, it's 5. And apparently, in that vote, one of the things that's revealed is in that vote amongst the 4, Yutani did not want Prodigy in. So there is a combative relationship, which you do see in the interactions between Boy Cavalier and Wayland Yutani's current CEO, who's the granddaughter of whoever the previous CEO is. Like, Wayland Yutani is a matriarchy, which is an interesting dynamic. And there's this. It just reemphasizes a combative relationship between these specific 2 companies, Prodigy and Wayland Yutani. And now, like, Prodigy has their aliens, like it has their property as they see it. So there is another theory that was floated that the other 4 companies are going to get together and maybe like invade, or like, I don't know, they're going to get together and discuss how to deal with this situation.
Oh yeah, there was a little like
what's the retribution
alluding to that.
That's the other interesting thing, is what is the retribution going to be for Prodigy for not handing over this tech? Not tech, but like these aliens. What is going to be what's going to be, because Yutani's going to respond. They want the alien. So what's the response going to be?
Right.
And how are they going to bring these other companies into the mix? That does also, I think, shed some light onto something I never completely understood about Alien, which was, when you watch the first Alien and the second Alien, it's clear that Wayland Yutani wants the alien as a bioweapon. However, what was never clear to me, I think, until Alien Earth, is why they wanted the bioweapon. I had always thought, bioweapon, they can make a lot of money off of it. However, knowing now that the Earth has been split up by 4 different tech companies, my thought now is they want the bioweapon to like they're acting like countries now, like they're nation states.
Mm-hmm.
Except the corporations have become nation states.
Right.
And so like Germany in the 1930s, they're trying to devise or whatever country attacking another, this corporation wants this bioweapon to gain an edge over the others.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my thought now is the reason Weyland-Yutani now has wanted this bioweapon is so that they can destroy the competition.
Mm-hmm. Like a nuclear deterrence or something.
Yeah, well, not even a deterrent. I mean, I guess a deterrent. Like, I guess like they would be the only ones with this tech, though.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm just like I'm thinking like why like in a world that is now owned by corporations, why is this corporation so desperate to get? They have more money than they could ever need, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why are they so desperate to get this bioweapon? My thought is, knowing that there are other corporations in play, is it because they want this bioweapon to undermine the strength of the other corporations? Maybe they want to take over the entire planet,
or like a weapon they can threaten them with.
Right. Yeah. So that's another interesting thing. Honestly, the big thing that comes out of these 2 episodes is that we learn that Wendy. So episode 3, Wendy saves her brother, kills a xenomorph. They go back to the.
Well, she gets hit on the head and then just passes out.
Yeah, they go back to Neverland. The 2 of them are recovered. They go back to Neverland. Her brother gets a new lawn that was provided to him by the company. So now the company has let him know that they own him.
Now, is it an actual lung that they gave him, or was it a machine lung or something?
Well, I think it's a synthetic lawn.
Oh, okay. Because they clearly wanted his lung. Like, they wanted a
they stored his
biological lung.
You do think that they could have healed him. Like, they could have probably taken his lung out and fixed it and put it back in.
But if they could do that, just grow their own lung, why would they need his to begin with?
I don't know. And they implant the lung with the xenomorph, which bursts at the end of episode 4. It bursts out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the very end of episode 4.
Yeah, that's the tail end of episode 4. Wendy wakes up at the end of episode 3. Wendy wakes up and she is walking the premise, and the alien is like crying out.
Right.
And it
was actually very well done. Like, I feel like in the moment I was watching it, I was like, I didn't realize it was a dream sequence. And dream sequences in TVs or movie show, like TV shows or like movies, it's just like so overplayed that you can just spot them off the bat. And like when I watched this originally, I was like, oh, I mean, she just walked in to the lab. And then the next episode, it's like, oh no, she was still asleep, but she knew everything that happened, which is also interesting. Not only can she speak to the creature, somehow she had this like out of body experience that was shot for shot what exactly happened. Right. How did she do that? I have no idea.
Wait, so you're saying that... Sorry, I'm trying to remember that ending. So you're saying that she didn't actually wake up and do this thing. She was dreaming.
That was a dream sequence. She wasn't awake.
Okay.
Because remember in episode 4, she wakes up in the very beginning.
Right, and they're hovering over her.
They ask her, what do you remember, if anything? She talks about hearing the alien, and then talks about going into the lab, where she never didn't actually go into the lab. Which is pretty obvious, because like I think at the end of episode 3, we're like, I think at the very tail end, I was like, I think this is a dream sequence, just because no one notices her.
Okay, I hadn't come away with that, but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, you're right.
No one noticed her walking to the lab, and when she collapsed, no one went to go help her or anything, right?
Right.
So somehow she was able to see everything that happened while she was still asleep, which is interesting. That's one, like, there's two there's one big interesting.
Well, the fact that androids
mystery
have dreams is an interesting thing.
True. I mean, there's one interesting thing is that she can hear the aliens. whereas none of the other androids can. And they don't really understand why yet. And the other thing is that she was able to see all this stuff happening while she was, like, quote unquote, asleep.
Right. I mean, that's basically like the end of episode 3 was her passing out on the floor from these like noises.
Yeah, but she wasn't actually.
Well, in four we learned that she wakes up and she wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
But the big takeaway and the thing that continues in 4 is that that she can both understand and speak to the alien.
Well, the other way you definitely know it's a dream sequence is because in the beginning of episode 4 she's deaf. She can't hear.
Right.
They have to fix that.
Right. And
in this dream sequence she could.
Right. So turning to episode 4, I feel like obviously the big thing that happens is you learn that she can both hear and communicate with the alien.
Mm-hmm.
The other scary thing,
like Boy Cavalier gives the other android like shit for not like. So you can learn French.
Well, the
like
one that's trying to kiss
but like
kiss his ass.
You can't do what she just did.
Right. The one that's trying to kiss his ass is the one that like is. It's like, oh, like, you know. I think the thing she hasn't learned yet is like you're never gonna impress this guy.
Right.
Like this guy's a dickhead and he's a CEO. Like most CEOs, he barely knows anything and he's a dickhead.
Right.
And so you know, she's just this. You know, he's never going to give this. I'm trying to remember which of the androids it is that is kissing his ass.
I know the name.
Yeah, they've all got weird. They've all got weird Peter Pan names. The one that's kissing his ass. It's like, okay, you're never really gonna please this guy. You're never gonna please him, or live up to his expectations. And even if you do live up to his expectations, is that he'll move the goalposts. Like it's like, oh, you learned French. This girl can speak alien. Who cares?
Well, I mean, even if she can, like, this one can do something that the others just can't.
Well, Wendy is unique. Yeah,
she's unique. Yeah. And I'm not even sure, like, no one really understands why. I don't think Boy Cavalier totally understands why. That how she's able to do this.
She's built on the same technology as the rest of them. So as far as we know, so it's like, how does she? She seems to have abilities that the rest don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's unclear. Maybe she maybe there is a desire for knowledge that she has, and so she's been learning things or testing things behind the scenes that Boy Cavalier's not aware of. Whereas the others may be just content to just like, you know, fuck around every day.
Right.
Because that's what kids do mostly. They just screw around.
But typically when you fuck around, you find out.
And you find out.
That they don't make any new discoveries.
That's true. That's right. In a weird way, maybe Wendy fucked around and found out.
Yes.
And by find out, I mean that she could speak alien.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's the biggest takeaway from 3 and 4 is she can speak to the aliens. That is going to come. Now here's my theory. My theory about this. My theory and a theory that's been floated is we know that the Predator is going to show up at some point.
They almost sound like the Predator in a weird way.
When it was doing the clicking noises, I was like, maybe she's also like the frequency. Maybe she's also hearing the Predator.
Yeah, because the clicking sound like Predators.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like some people mentioned there was a Easter egg with the Predator, and most people who reviewed this episode 3 and 4, talked about the plant.
Yeah, so the plant seems to make its way into a movie that
Predator Badlands
is going to come out soon.
So Predator Badlands, we do know that there is a alien overlap because there is a Weyland-Yutani android in that show, movie, whatever, with Predator. So there's a tie-in between. There's an intentional tie-in between the two franchises there. And apparently this plant monster potentially shows up in that episode or that show with the Predator.
Movie or whatever.
Movie, show, I don't even know what it is.
I think it's going to be a movie.
Okay, so Predator Badlands apparently includes this dangerous fauna that is also in Alien Earth. And so that was the drop. But I feel like nobody picked up on, nothing I've watched so far ever mentions the clicking noises that to me sounded like the Predator.
Yeah.
Like the
Sounds
alien
more Predator
clicking
than
noises.
Alien.
I'm like, that sounds like the Predator, not an alien. So like, so I feel like that was an Easter egg that was missed by a lot of people.
Yeah, maybe.
Talking about episode 3 and 4. So the big takeaway from the recent episodes was that she can talk to the aliens, and that is gonna. And here's my theory now, in knowing that she can do this. My theory is she is going to control the alien to help them fight the Predator. She's going to help use it as a weapon again. The Predator is going to show up at some point, and she is going to use her connection with the alien as the alien's going to be a weapon against the Predator.
Someone has also like theorized that she is essentially, by being able to speak to the aliens, has almost become like a surrogate, like queen to them.
Okay, like their mother.
The mother, yeah. At least to this one that has popped out at the very end of episode 4. So that's interesting. I don't know, where they're going to go with this. I think like it seems pretty obvious that, I mean, at this point, it would be a disappointment if the Predator didn't make an appearance, because like
I feel
everyone,
like everything that's
everyone is assuming that that's going to happen.
Especially with what they've shown in Badlands, like they've explicitly shown that there's a Weyland-Yutani synth in that show. Like I think the Predator's coming.
Right. Well, there's also like something going on or something being hidden at Boyd Cavalier's facility.
Yeah, he's got the person spraying the walls,
or icing the wall. Like I don't know what the hell he's doing, but like it would surprise me if like the Predator is locked away in there or something.
Yeah, they've been like keeping one in prison basically.
Right.
That'd be interesting to like learn how he caught that.
Right.
But the other interesting thing that's sort of a cliffhanger in episode 4 was it's clear that Slightly is going to have to make a decision, and he was like looking into what's his name, the brother, who's the brother? Hermit.
Hermit, is that it?
That's not his real name.
100% sure that's
not his real name. But Slightly was looking on at Hermit in an ominous way, kind of implying that he was going to use Hermit as the human sacrifice for the next alien.
Right. I think towards the end of episode 4, you see. So essentially, what happens is like, who's the android kid?
Wendy?
No, the one whose parents were threatened.
Oh, Slightly.
Okay.
Like, so Morrow basically...
Slightly, like an idiot, gives his actual name to
he gives his
Morrow.
Identity to Morrow. And to be,
I was like,
to be fair, he's a kid.
He's a kid. When he did that in the moment, I was like, this is going to come back to bite him. Yes. I don't know how, but it will. And then, like, maybe like 15 minutes later, you see Morrow at his family's house.
Right.
With his mother, the kid's mother, and waiting for his 5 brothers to just show up, very threateningly. And so like forces this kid's hand into. I mean, the plan now is that like he's going to put some biological human in front of one of the eggs.
He needs to provide Morrow with another xenomorph.
He needs essentially a host, right?
Well, the other thing that's interesting is maybe Morrow is not aware that they've already created another xenomorph.
That's the other thing. Like, yeah, he might. We might be able to go around this because now there's one in play. So if this android kid can just find a way to capture this thing, they might he might not even need to bother with
Right.
the host. But it seems like Kirsch is like eagerly awaiting.
That's the other thing. Kirsch
knows that this is happening.
There's a piece of artwork that's prominent in the episode. The three monkeys hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Where that seems to be like an intentional thing from the company of like, hey, we don't care what immoral things we're doing. We don't want you to see, speak, or hear. Like if you see or hear or encounter anything that we do that's immoral, we don't want you to reveal that. Mm-hmm. Ignore it. Basically is the message behind see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Kirsch seems to be waiting in the wings doing nothing about the Morrow slightly situation, even though he's aware of it. He seems to be letting this play out because it's clear that he has an antagonistic relationship with Boy, and he's letting this play out. I don't know what his allegiance to Boy Cavalier is. I don't know why he's working for him. He's obviously not a child who's been implanted into a synth's body. He's a pure synth, as far as we know. And whatever reason he's working with Boy, they have a combative relationship, and show me, don't tell me. Like he's showing me, right? It's not about what he's saying; it's about what he's doing. And what he's doing is allowing some subversive acts to happen that are detrimental to Boy Cavalier and to Prodigy. He's allowing this stuff to happen under his watch because he wants to see where it goes. And in some of his other actions, he was encouraging the synthetics to have their own point of view. Like he was encouraging them he was encouraging the one who wanted to change his name to Isaac to ditch the name that Boy Cavalier gave him. Mm-hmm. You know, he's teaching these synthetics to be independent of the master. And he has it out for, it seems like Kirsch has it out for Prodigy and for Boy Cavalier, and that is an interesting development in these last two episodes.
Right.
The other interesting development is what the fuck is going on with Nibs, and she almost killed what's her face, Dame. What, I can't think of her name. The psychologist. There's a guy and a woman.
Is she a psychologist?
I think so. They're both scientists. There's a guy and a woman who are basically like the pseudo mom and dad of these 4-5 synthetics. And they weren't able to have kids of their own, so it seems like they treat these synthetics as their own children almost. Because they are concerned with the way that Boy Cavalier treats the synthetics. They do speak up at times. Arthur more so than his wife Dame. But there is a scene between Nibs and Dame where Nibs is trying to convince Dame that she's pregnant, and Dame is like, well, you would have, one, you're a synthetic, two, you would have to have like sex, and then Nibs becomes convinced that it's like an immaculate conception. But she jumps in that scene where she gets frustrated with how Dame is responding to her. She jumps across the room and like basically strangles Dame in a very threatening way, which does tell you that like Ash in the original Alien movie, it implies that these synthetics do not have a code of ethics built into their system. That they could theoretically, and this theory is also supported by the fact that Dame has a panic button under her desk that she activates.
How would you build a code of ethics into these ones who have memories?
Well, that's maybe that's the whole point. Maybe they can't. But maybe a code of ethics, like a code of ethics that would be very like cut and dry for any other synthetic, might conflict with their human memories.
Right.
Like the humanity that exists within these Prodigy AIs would potentially maybe conflict with the very like cut and dry nature of a typical synthetic. And so maybe this ethics stuff doesn't work with them because it would fuck their code up. But it's clear though from that scene that these synthetics could potentially kill their masters. Because she was able to jump across the room and strangle one of them. She doesn't strangle her to death or anything, but she does like jump across the room and hold her neck in a very threatening way.
Right.
And Dame has a panic button under her desk, which means that they have anticipated this. Like, they've anticipated a scenario where they would need to press a panic button because one of the AIs got out of line. And she even says to the supervisor who comes by,
code whatever.
She's code 3 or something.
And we don't see her for the rest of the episode.
Right. So,
because when all the other synthetics are hanging out, she's clearly not there.
Right. And so so that is another interesting dynamic that's mixed in the last 2 episodes, is the fact that the AI do not seemingly have a code of ethics, like Ash, like Morrow. They do not have a code of ethics built in that would prevent them.
I think with Yutani, they have a system where they can override any code of ethics, right?
Right.
Any given situation where, especially like...
My question is, though, would they have that capability to act against Boy? Or has Boy allowed it to be...
Well, I think...
Has Boy allowed them to, like, could they potentially kill others besides Boy? Right. Like, has Boy built in a fail-safe for him alone?
Well, if you think about... I guess we'll find out or see, but like if you think about all the synthetics that Boy Cavalier has created, they don't... Wendy definitely doesn't agree with him on certain things. Like, she has to beg him to keep the brother around.
Right.
They are questioning their like existence, their names. They're questioning the actions of their creator, like openly, in a way that you haven't seen, I think, in any other Alien movie.
Right.
With synthetics. So I don't think it doesn't feel like they have that built into them. Like that sort of Isaac Asimov kind of like what's the famous iRobot, like 3 rules or whatever.
Yeah.
Pillars or 3 rules or whatever it is. It doesn't seem like that exists with them. It's kind of hard to imagine how that would, if you're taking the mind of a child, putting it into a robot. Can you then program that robot's mind to have this like fail safe?
The point of these types of synthetics that Prodigy has specifically made that nobody else is aware of is that they are human. Like, they have a human element to their thinking and their minds. And so maybe the idea is that a fail-safe of some sort would conflict with their humanity. And or Boy just didn't care to put one in because, like,
these are the
point is to test how
these are the first generation of the specific robot.
The point of these robots is to see if they're legitimate, so that when he gets old enough and he's on the verge of death, can he transfer his consciousness into a synthetic?
We're already seeing like a kind of splitting of like some are able to accept it while others are like having a psychological breakdown, like Nibs.
Right. Which, again, she has this breakdown after that attack from the I'm going to keep calling this the eye creature. She really has this breakdown after that attack. So, but it does show like there, and Slightly is also having a breakdown in the fact that because he has his previous human consciousness, he's now thinking of his past biological family in this Morrow situation, where he's like, he will maybe theoretically, we don't know yet, so it's theoretic, but he may betray Prodigy in the attempt to save his family. So we do know at the very least that there are not fail safes that are built into these specific hybrid synthetics they are very much human in their decision making
and thought process,
and
questioning.
Yeah, and so I would say so far in Alien, my overall takeaway from Alien Earth so far is the AIs continue to be the stars of the show.
Yeah, they're the most interesting part. I actually I actually really do enjoy this thought experiment of like putting human minds in AI, because it has been very interesting so far.
Yeah, it's the first time they've like broached this idea,
right,
in this long running franchise.
Right.
I still don't entirely understand Morrow. Like, he's obviously at one point was a biological human being.
Yeah, I don't know his motivations yet. Like,
I don't even know what he is. Like,
part of me wonders if like Yutani has promised him something. Has that been stated?
Well, he also does. He does not. Yutani does try to convince him to come in rather than do what he does, which is stay in New Siam and try to recover these creatures. You would think that Yutani would want these creatures recovered, but they tell the granddaughter of the previous CEO, who he had spoken with before the mission started. So the mission was 65 years. He comes back, and all of a sudden, the granddaughter is now the head of the company. So when Morrow started, when the spaceship left Earth, Morrow had taken direction from the grandmother, and when he comes back, it's the granddaughter leading the company, and you know, in I forget what I was going with there. What was I going with? What is his motivation?
Yeah.
So you would think that if he trusted Yutani, he just because Wayland Yutani asked him to turn himself in, to come in, despite the fact that they want these aliens, like they want this property,
right?
And he, which is very interesting, like he also can act out of the interest of the company, right? Like he's acting independently of what the company has told him to do. So that's also interesting. Maybe it's because he's older tech, and like newer tech has been built with these safeguards, and he doesn't have those on him. But he elects to stay in New Siam and try to recover these creatures. And some of the theories that were floated are, if he turns himself in, he's going to be shut down. He's going to be decommissioned. Like all that Wayland Yutani wanted was the data that he's already supplied them by uploading. And so rather than face decommission, he's going to just stay and try to recover the creatures, which he does call his life work, which another theory that was floated is that he's David. That his mind is David. From the Prometheus and Alien Covenant, like the prequels. That the person who went over this theory debunked it pretty quickly, but like it is interesting because he does use some phrases that David had used in the two prequels, like when he tells who's the kid that his family he's kidnapped. Slightly. He tells Slightly, "Don't let the bed bugs bite," which is what David says to what's her face when she falls asleep.
Right, Shaw.
Yeah, somebody. David says that to a human. Don't let the bed bugs bite. But then there was another line where he says, Morrow tells Yutani that this is his life's work. And so somebody theorized life's work. Oh, that's David. David's been working on this for years. Like he stays back for the alien because it's his life's work. Anyways, I
feel like
somebody debunked that because he, like,
theory, but like
Morrow claimed he had a child. So
he claimed he had a child, and he claims he's from Ghana.
Yes. So that I feel like that's been
the fourth episode.
I feel like that was a very interesting theory, but it was debunked. But Morrow continues, from 3 and 4 and onward. Morrow continues to be an interesting fixation of this series. Okay. Well,
are we wrapping up?
I feel like we're ramping up here.
Okay, let's wrap up.
3 and 4 are summary. Morrow continues to be a fixation. The AIs are now questioning their masters. Wendy has this weird connection with the alien.
Understood yet by anyone?
There is definitely some connection with the Predator. That's happening at some point.
Yeah, I feel like the guy freezing the door is
freezing the door,
keeping the
and also the
there.
fauna, that plant monster, which is hinted at in Badlands for Predator, the upcoming Predator show. That's hinted at. Like the Predator's going to show up.
Interestingly, though, they would have had the Predator even before they got these things, right? Because that's been from episode 1. He's been freezing that door.
That's another question we don't know. Do these major companies, are they aware of, or do they know about the Predator? They might know about the Predator. Mm-hmm. Somehow, if it does get revealed that the Predator breaks containment and that Boy Cavalier had one, then it's revealed that the companies not only were aware of it, but they've captured one.
Right. It's interesting because in the show, I think the scientists specifically are like, why don't we just finish our AI project? Why are we bothering with these biological creatures?
Yeah.
Where it's like, all these sudden these biological creatures show up and Boy Cavalier becomes fascinated with them. Whereas
I feel like Boy Cavalier is also doing just like a swinging dick competition.
True. But if he's had a Predator all along, maybe he's been interested in the shit all along. And
That's
these
true.
are just more creatures to check out.
Well, he definitely finds humans boring, and these AI have not yet reached a mental capacity that he has
found some interest in the eyeball creature.
Yeah.
He does. Obviously, he has said no one has matched his intellect, so maybe he's looking for an alien species to match his intellect. Who knows? And he does find
he's definitely going to get killed.
Yeah, he's for sure.
He's
I think
for sure getting killed.
That eyeball one's going to kill him for sure. One of these creatures can kill him. The interesting thing is there's this cockroach one that we have
bug one that we've
not even got to see what this thing does yet, and so I think eventually we will. But
eventually, all these creatures are going to
escape.
One of my theories about the Maginot is that the eyeball creature broke containment. Well, I don't know. I think maybe the eyeball creature broke containment and implanted itself, and then was able to release the rest of them. Because the eyeball, when the eyeball creature implants itself, it can control the function.
Eventually, if this eyeball creature gets out, it can take over human host.
It would take over human hosts who could then,
and
then it let everybody else out.
I think the alien's probably going to get out first. I can't. How are they going to contain this alien?
They're not going to. If watching the Alien franchise has taught you anything, especially Alien Resurrection, you cannot keep this shit contained, especially something with acid blood.
Yeah.
Because in that movie, the aliens turned on each other, killed one of them, and then the acid blood let them break out of containment.
Unless Wendy is emotionally able to somehow communicate and control this thing, I don't know how they're going to keep this thing contained once it becomes fully grown.
No. Boy Cavalier is probably going to get it.
For sure. One of these aliens, they're setting it up for one of these things to kill him. I'm betting on the eyeball thing, but we'll see.
He's got a very antagonistic relationship with the eyeball creature, so that would definitely be fitting for that to get him. But okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. Alien Earth so far, I'm giving a thumbs up to. It's been
thumbs
good.
Up. When I first heard about this show. And the thing you heard about first, when you heard about I don't know, some of the hints at the show, some of the leaks of the show were that exactly what has happened, which is that they're going to introduce a bunch of different alien creatures. Right. And as soon as I heard that, off the bat, I was like, this show's going to suck.
Which is what you said last time.
I was like, I'm not interested. It's gonna blow. This should just be focused on the alien, or Predator if they introduce that. But everything they've introduced has been actually interesting, and the themes of the show have been interesting, and the focus on AI in the various cyborg versus like children's memories being implanted in AI, or versus like the true synthetic AI. The battle between the three of those groups is interesting as well.
Yeah, I would say the most interesting things to me are, okay, AI is a problem for humanity. That continues to be a big theme of the Alien franchise, especially with this series. Subsequent to that is corporations rule the planet now. I don't know that that's ever like. I feel like that was always hinted at, especially with Romulus, where like they basically had to have credits. They had to pay credits out to the company to leave the planet.
Yeah,
like that was hinted at, but I don't think it's ever been explicitly explored that planet Earth no longer has countries; it has corporations that govern it. I feel like that's extremely interesting, especially in these days and times. And the fact that we've now been introduced to somebody who can speak and communicate to the aliens, where that's never been a thing before. And I do think that's going to come into play. I do think the Predator is going to show up. I think Wendy is going to use her ability to communicate to the aliens to use them as a deterrent or attack against the Predator. Like, I think there's going to be this whole dynamic with the Predator at some point. The other creatures, I am interested to see how they've incorporated the eyeball creature into the episode 4 more. I'm very interested to see how they incorporate the rest of them throughout as the season plays out. And like, once these things break containment, like how far does this season take it? You know, like how far are we going? Like, is this a complete collapse of like New Siam, like the city? Does this city go in under complete?
Well, I think the interesting thing is
we also know that Weyland-Yutani never gets a hold of any of these creatures. At least we don't think,
because
the first Alien movie happens. So and Earth is still a viable place to go back to. So,
well, the thing is, they're on the Boyd Cavalier's island. So they are isolated.
True. They're isolated on the island.
So there might not be a way for the alien
maybe they are able to nuke the island or something. I don't know.
True.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting as the season goes along, you know, past episode 4 here, how these elements grow and play out.
Right. It'll be interesting now that we have like a newborn alien, like how quickly that thing turns into an adult and how the fuck they're gonna deal with that.
Right. And how Morrow comes back into play here, like now that there's an actual alien out and about and loose, like how is he gonna get his hands on it?
Yeah.
And then also, like, that's the other interesting thing about Morrow is like he's broken ranks with Yutani because he did not come back in. Like, Yutani asked him to come back.
Well, I think remember was it episode 2? He did shock that one.
Yeah.
And
he's trying to get an alien.
To capture it. I'm sure he was trying to deliver it to Yutani.
Well, there's no other reason for him to get it other than to
somehow
deliver it.
For whatever reason, he needs one of these to deliver to Yutani to maybe convince them to not like decommission him or something.
Okay. That's the other thing that's interesting about Morrow is about the show is Morrow and like what is his at this point his relationship with Yutani, because he's breaking protocol so far to stay back and try to continue to pursue these alien creatures, which Yutani obviously wants, but yet they told him to come in. So that's interesting to me. I don't know, like he seems to be breaking ranks and yet trying to stay loyal to Yutani. So
there's a motivation there that I don't think we understand yet.
Okay. Well, we're going to continue the discussion as the season goes along. But just to wrap up here, we would like you to, in the coming weeks, we will be going to Cleveland's Oktoberfest.
We are probably also going to film at we're going to the Notre Dame Texas A&M game.
Here's the thing with this show. I think, and when we took some advice from our sister Liz, who works in some of this shit, we need to get out and about a little bit with the folk.
We can talk to people.
With the American folk.
American
the
folk.
people. Not the ones that disagree with us politically, but the ones that want to talk about non-politic things.
Right.
So we are going to do Oktoberfest here in Cleveland, the greatest Oktoberfest in the U.S. We are going to be going to South Bend. We were going to be doing that regardless. So the fact that we're going to South Bend, why don't we just film there?
Yeah. Why not talk to the people?
Why not talk to the Irish?
The Irish
supporting
Catholics, people? The ones, the Trumpy ones.
Not the Trumpy ones.
Not the Trumpy ones.
So we're going to get out. This is going to be a growing theme. You know, if you are a business, if you are an entity in the Cleveland area, and you would like the Twins to show up to your event, you let us know. You got to sponsor. First off, you got to sponsor us. But once you sponsor us, you tell us, "Hey, we'd like you. We want the Cleveland Twins to show up to this event. We want the Twins. Hey. We want the Cleveland Twins.
We need that twin experience.
We'll show up to your event if you have beer.
If you have beer and that moolah.
You got beer and you got some money cash to throw our way. We will come to your event. You can reach us through Instagram. Just message us through Instagram. That's probably the easiest way to get to us. Our Split Personalities podcast on Instagram. Just message us that way. And we will show up to your event, and you can sponsor us and give us some money, and we'll be there.
Yeah,
maybe if you do those two things
under the right conditions,
under those
that
conditions
we have specifically specified.
We need this in our hands.
Some of the golden liquid, and
we need some of this in our hands, green and some of that in our pockets. Some of that in our pockets.
Yeah, it's all virtual now.
Just Venmo, whatever.
Yeah, Venmo.
You know, PayPal, whatever.
PayPal, Venmo,
Patreon. We're gonna set this Patreon up. Just send us money.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out.
So, anyways, to wrap up here, we're gonna keep going with Alien Earth for a little bit here, but this has been Split Personalities.
Right.
Your hosts, Bob and Ray, are going to be out and about with the folk in the coming episodes. We look forward to meeting the people.
Right.
Shaking the hands, kissing the babies.
Hands, kissing babies, shaking babies, kissing hands.
Shaking the babies, kissing the hands. And we'll see you then.
All right.
Until then, it's been Split Personalities. Your hosts, Bob and Ray.
Right.
Cheers. We are wrapping up episode 8 here.
It's been real. It's been great, but it hasn't been really great.
You know, I always used to say it's been real, it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun.
Okay. Either works, I think.
So
until we get that moolah.
And once we get the moolah, it'll be great.
It'll be great and fun.
It'll be both fun and great.
It'll be great fun.
Great fun. And then I can
good times had by all.
Then I can leave my job.
True. Same. Trying to get out of that 9 to 5.
We need you all to, if you want Split Personalities to continue and you want it to be a full-time thing, you want us to release more than one episode a week.
Well, you got to get us out of that 9 to 5.
You got to get off your ass. Yeah. You got to get off your ass. Reach into those.
You got to work. You got to work your 9 to 5.
Yes.
Earn that money.
Yes.
To then support us, so we can get out of our 9 to 5.
Exactly. Yes. This is the point. This is the point.
Or Jeff Bezos can just give us $1 billion.
You need to get off your ass so that we can get on ours.
Right. True.
And film, and then this will just be our gig, and we will provide you the content that you're looking for from those Cleveland Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce just got married. Is getting married to
apparently bought property
to Taylor Swift. There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of stuff going on here in the Cleveland area. Right. And if you want to keep up to date to it, I don't know. We don't talk a lot about Cleveland.
Talk about Taylor Swift. So.
Yeah, we don't talk. But if you want Cleveland Twins to give you input on like Metal Gear Solid, or Alien, or like half remember something,
right? For sure.
That would be us. Right. And if you want us to keep doing that, you need to give us the money.
Yes, got a sponsor.
Okay. So
we're gonna figure that out somehow.
You sponsor, push in the algorithms, give us the money. Cheers.
Gross.
We love you. We know you love us. And this has been another episode of Split Personalities. Over and out.